Hey everyone, it's Ethan or Miist back again for another video today. Welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another video. Today we're going to be doing my movies of the week. So every movie that I watched last week, and there's a lot, because I'm going to do the week before as well. So I'm going to do the past 2 weeks because I didn't upload last week on Christmas. My apologies. So yeah, I'm going to be doing both of the past 2 weeks. So last week and the week of Christmas. So I've got 20 movies. I ended up watching 20 movies over the past 2 weeks, which is quite crazy. So, yeah, let's get into it. Starting off with actually the last watch of the week, but it was also my least favorite watch of the week. It is Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire. Overall, I didn't really care for this movie that much. It definitely wasn't great by any means. I feel really bad just because my friend Ryan, or Goose, you guys have heard me talk about many times. He loves Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder is his favorite director, so I feel bad just because I'm out here shitting on this movie. But yeah, it got a 59 out of 100 for me, so I think it's rather mid. It's almost a decent movie in my opinion, but it really gives like Zack Snyder's Justice League drama. For some reason, we're just not releasing the full 4-hour version of the film. I don't know why. I feel like similarly to that movie with ZSJL, that if I were to watch this again in a 4-hour runtime, I'd probably enjoy it more, but who knows. And I didn't mention this in my review, but I meant to. I feel like every Zack Snyder movie takes at least 1 or 2 watches for me to really get into, because for some reason I just struggle to get into his movies after a first watch. So yeah, also shout out to Tom Holkenborg for this absolutely wild and amazing score. I really loved it. But with that being said, let's move on to one of the few Christmas movies I watched this Christmas season, A Christmas Carol, the animated Robert Zemeckis film. Overall, I didn't really care for it all that much. A 66 out of 100 for me, so I thought it was decent. It gets a 3-star, but yeah, overall I didn't really care much for it. And yeah, I mean, the only reason I watched it is because it was a short watch, it was a Christmas movie, and I wanted to know what my stepfather loved so much about this movie, because it's one of his favorite Christmas movies. Him and my mom watch it every year, but overall, I just didn't really care for it all that much. But let's move on to just a little bit better at a 67 out of 100. It is Hancock. This is a first watch for me. All of these so far are first-time watches for me. And yeah, this movie was alright. The score in this movie was really great. I meant to check to see who it was. I don't even know who it was, but that's still the only thing I really remember about it, to be honest. So yeah, let's just keep going then. To Murder Mystery, which, you know what, I've watched this one before. This is the first on the list. It's not a first-time watch. But yeah, I mean, this was a decent movie. It gets a 69 out of 100 for me. It's one of Mel's favorite comfort movies. She loves the murder mysteries, and she loves Jennifer Aniston. I love Adam Sandler, so she's kind of perfect, and we love this duo together, to be fair, as well. So overall, I did enjoy it. I feel like I enjoyed it more upon first watch. When I first watched it, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago. I might have only watched it when it came out, to be fair, so it's probably been quite some time, but yeah, overall, not a terrible movie by any means, in my opinion. And speaking of not a terrible movie, perhaps the most surprising for me is The Marvels, a 70 out of 100. It gets a 3.5 stars for me. I liked this more than Captain Marvel. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I was going to. It's not bottom MCU for me, so that's really awesome. That's a very big positive for me. A 70 out of 100 isn't great by any means, but for this movie, from what I had expectations for it, I'm very thankful that I enjoyed it as much as I did, because I expected to not like this movie. I didn't hear great things about this movie apart from the main 3, and I haven't seen it yet, so it's been quite some time. It came out almost 2 months ago now, and I only seen it last week. So obviously, or 2 weeks ago, I guess. Sorry. Yeah, so it's been quite some time. It was really delayed, but I'm glad I got around to watching it because as a cat dad, I enjoyed it. But let's keep going to The Hangover. Perhaps a very hot take for myself is I didn't really enjoy The Hangover that much. A 72 out of 100 for myself. Again, it's one of Mel's favorite comedy movies. My parents and her parents all love this movie. I feel like a lot of people love this movie, and honestly, I just didn't think it was that funny. Overall, I just didn't enjoy it that much. I'm intrigued to watch the other two movies in the trilogy. I've heard they're not as good, to be fair, but yeah, I mean, I just expected a lot more from it, and I didn't really enjoy it as much as I thought I would. So, and honestly, I didn't really laugh that much either, which is kind of surprising. I expected to laugh quite a fair amount with this, but I just didn't. So, but comedy is subjective. So, let's keep moving on to perhaps even more of a hot take, Murder Mystery 2 being higher than The Hangover, which I'm sure there's not many people out there that believe that or agree with that, but I really don't care. I kind of love this movie. I was laughing a lot. I really enjoyed the comedy in this movie. The plot was fine. I don't really care, but it made me laugh, which is a bonus. Sorry. So I really enjoyed that about this movie overall. I thought that was awesome, just because not many movies make me laugh. So I was very happy that this one made me laugh. But yeah, let's just keep going on to the next one, which is Home Alone 2, which I believe is 1 point better than Home Alone 1 for me, but it's a 78 out of 100. I think both of these movies are decent movies. They're pretty boring movies, but they get good once we get to the third act. The third act is definitely the strongest part of both of these movies, obviously. That's no secret, but wow, what a hole. That was my favorite line ever in film. Let's keep going to Predestination, a 79 out of 100 for myself, so almost gets that 4-star great ranking, but I really, really enjoyed this movie. I put this movie on while I was playing some COD, and I ended up just stopped playing COD to watch this movie because I was so interested in this movie. I don't know why. I was just locked the fuck in watching this movie, and I really, really enjoyed it. I really felt like this movie could have been longer, and I feel like I would have enjoyed it even more if it had been longer, to flush some more things out. Maybe, I don't know, explain more about time travel, but overall, I really enjoyed it. Nonetheless, I just kind of wish there was more time to it. So that kind of sucks, unfortunately. But we'll keep going now into the 4 stars. Perhaps my favorite Christmas movie, Christmas with the Cranks. Absolutely love this movie. This has always been a childhood favorite of mine. Me and my parents would watch it every year alongside Fred Claus and the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So those 3 movies are probably some of my favorites just because I grew up with them. I haven't watched Fred Claus or National Lampoon's since I started ranking movies, so it's been a couple of years, but yeah, decided to buy Christmas with the Cranks, just because I know it's a Christmas classic for me. I watch it every year anyways. But yeah, overall I enjoyed it. It gets an 82 out of 100 for myself. And yeah, I mean, let's just keep going to Happy Gilmore, which gets an 84 out of 100 for myself. I really enjoyed this movie. I've watched this movie before I ever started ranking films, but I really, really enjoy this one. I thought this was really great, and I thought it's one of Adam Sandler's best movies for sure. Not a big golf guy, but I really did enjoy this movie. Also, if you guys haven't noticed, or maybe you did notice, looking at this, of course, you can see that I changed my movie posters. I finally became a patron on Letterboxd, and yeah, I'm not regretting it at all because I love the new features I have, so that's really great. Definitely would recommend if you have not purchased it. Up next, a 2023 release of December. Another first-time watch for me. A sensationally fucked up story with great acting and a truly bizarre plot. But I absolutely really enjoyed this. I thought it was a really great movie. I loved the piano throughout the entire movie. That score with the piano throughout the entire movie was really, really awesome. I really, really enjoyed that. And of course, tremendous acting from Natalie Portman as always. And I thought this was just a great movie. An 85 out of 100, which ends up being towards the top half of 2023. So that's awesome. Or 2023 releases, I should say. Let's keep on going to Jumanji The Next Level. Perhaps a hot take that I like this more, but an 85 out of 100. I watch both of these two Jumanjis for the first time. And yeah, I really enjoyed both of them. We'll get to the first one here shortly, but I really enjoyed both of them. Mel really loves these movies. They're comfort movies for Mel as well. She's a big Nick Jonas guy. She's a big Jonas Brothers guy. So yeah, she really enjoyed them, and I'm glad we got to watch them because I really enjoyed them as well. Obviously, an 85 out of 100 is pretty solid, so let's keep on going. Up to now officially the oldest movie I've ever watched, which is really awesome, from 1957, Paths of Glory, which is very, very cool. Yeah, my first Kubrick watch as well. Shout out to Stanley Kubrick. Kubrick. Anyways, I had no idea that this was a courtroom drama. I fully expected this to be a war film, but it showed a different side of war and asking a lot of important questions about war and is war necessary. So major props to Stanley Kubrick for this. Of course, this movie is fucking almost 70 years old almost, which is crazy. It's 67 years old. If my math, I did quick math there. I don't know how right that is. Anyways, again, by far the oldest movie I've ever watched, and I really, really enjoyed this. I thought this was a great, great movie. Gets an 88 out of 100. Up next to a wrestling movie, and you guys know me as a wrestling fan. This year I've gone on a mission to find more wrestling films. I didn't do good with them. I was really struggling to find wrestling films, especially ones that I enjoy. There's just not many wrestling films out there, but this one was awesome. The Peanut Butter Falcon, an 89 out of 100. I thought this was a great movie with a really great story and really good acting as well. I thought this was perhaps Shia LaBeouf's greatest acting accolade. I thought this was a really tremendous showcase of his acting. And overall, this has been on my watch list for a long time. I'm really glad I got around to watch it because I really, really enjoyed it. Obviously, just shy of that 4.5 stars, so I'm very, very happy I was able to get around to watch it this week. So now into the top 5. We have 5 movies from 90 to 100 they range. So up next, we have a concert film in Taylor Swift Reputation Stadium Tour, a 90 out of 100. This is Mel's favorite artist, favorite album, and favorite tour, so we watched it together. It was the last day to watch it yesterday on Netflix. She absolutely loves this. It's kind of like a mini Eras tour plus with her favorite album, so she absolutely loves this. Reputation is becoming one of my favorite Taylor Swift albums, if not my favorite. Speak Now, I think, is still probably my favorite, but overall, I really enjoyed the Rep tour. This album's great, and she's just a tremendous performer. So shout out Taylor Swift, a 90 out of 100. And then with that, also a 90 out of 100, a new watch from yesterday that I watched with Mel and my mom. We went to go see Wonka together in theaters, which a really great feel-good movie that was a whole lot of fun. A 90 out of 100 as well, like I mentioned. This was a really awesome watch, and I really really enjoyed it. I thought the soundtrack was tremendous. I told Mel at the end of the movie, I think we need to get this on vinyl, so that would be pretty fire, but we both really enjoyed the soundtrack as well. My mom really enjoyed the movie, but yeah, overall 4.5 stars for myself. Now on to the top 3 of the week with a 91 out of 100. It is Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. The only thing I really didn't enjoy about this movie is the fact that they didn't use Welcome to the Jungle till the end of the movie. It should have been used all throughout the movie because I've been listening to that song a lot lately, even before we watched this movie. The month of December, I've been listening to some Guns N' Roses a lot, and I really just wanted to see this more. So I was a little sad about that, but overall, this was a really fun watch that I really, really enjoyed. I am going to make it my goal to watch the original Jumanji sometime soon because I have not watched that one either. All the Jumanjis were first time watches for myself, but I'll definitely get around to doing that because I'm intrigued to see how different they are or if there are any similarities. But nonetheless, a 91 out of 100, and I really, really enjoyed it. So now on to the top two of the week with now one of my newly favorite movies, The Iron Claw, with a 98 out of 100. This is the longest review I think I've written, and it's man, I have so much to say about this movie. Like I said, I'm a wrestling fan. I've been a wrestling fan since 2011. That's when I started watching wrestling. I'm only 22 years old, so that's been half of my life. I've been watching professional wrestling. It's been on and off throughout those years. I watched consistently until like 2017, then stopped until 2020, and then just been in and out from 2020 to early 2022. But most of this year, I pretty much watched everything. And, well, WWE wise, I should say. But man, I absolutely loved this movie. I thought this was fucking tremendous. It's my number 3 movie of the year. I want to watch this and Oppenheimer in like the same week because those are my number 2 and number 3 movies, both at a 98 out of 100. So I really want to watch them to see which one I truly do like more. Because score, I would definitely go to Oppenheimer, but the emotions I felt from Iron Claw was unreal because of how sad the story of the Von Erichs is. Sorry, I'm literally getting emotional right now. I wish, as a wrestling fan, I felt very sad in that I did not know the story of the Von Erichs, and I really am mad at myself because I did not know that story. And I truly feel like it deserves to be told because it is a tremendously sad story that it's hard to believe that is real. And this was just a tremendous movie. I absolutely loved it. I really want to rewatch it again. I'm going to in the new year. I want to bring my stepfather because he's a big wrestling fan as well. But yeah, a 98 out of 100 for The Iron Claw, and I really hope Zac Efron gets some recognition, and everyone in this cast deserves recognition for their acting skills in this movie because they were all tremendous, and they really made me care and feel for each and every member of this family. So, yeah, sorry. On to my favorite movie of the week. On a much lighter note, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which is my favorite movie of the year. I just rewatched it for the 8th time. I watched it 6 times the month it came out, so the fact that I'm only on watch number 8, judging by how it started, is quite surprising, but it's a 100 out of 100 for me. I love this movie so fucking much. So fucking much. So, with that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. I gotta leave for work in like maximum, or at the minimum, I got like max 15 minutes left. I gotta go for work, and I really wanted to edit this before work. So, thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.